All right, we are back with round 4 of the Cabbages and Kings Win a Case tournament. Now, it was a 4-round Swiss with a top cut to the top 4. There were 2 undefeated players going into this last round, and they did decide to shake hands and take that intentional draw. So, this match is actually the second table. So, both players trying to get into the top cut here. We've got Mother Talzin from Legends of the Force on that red 4 space, going up against an old leader from Sparkle Rebellion. That's the Grand Inquisitor on the Colossus space. Let's check it out. On the left, we have myself rocking that Mother Talzin red deck again. On the right, we have Jeff bringing that Grand Inquisitor Colossus. Again, these players are playing for a chance to get into the top cut here. And this Grand Inquisitor deck bringing us back to a niche archetype from the first set, Spark of the Rebellion. So the strategy here is going to get a unit with 3 or less power on the field using the Grand Inquisitor's ability, which is to deal 2 damage to your own unit. And if it has 3 or less power, you may ready it. So looking for an aggressive start. Now with the Colossus base, Jeff is looking for possibly getting some extra health in the case of a race. If both players are just trying to get some damage on the base. Of course, in the blue villainy colors, you might have some nice top end like a Avenger or a Snoke, so giving some flexibility there. The goal for the Talzin decks here is to stop the tide of the aggressive start, trading off and clearing some units, and then really using that middle game to build a board and making it hard for the Grand Inquisitor deck and its units from getting back into the game. So I have initiative here, and we see the Secretive Sage come down. Jeff goes ahead and taps 1 for the Hylabon Enforcer. It's 1-drop 1/4 with grit. So Jeff is going to use that Grand Inquisitor ability, deal 2, it readies, and now it hits base for 3. So nice start there. With the Secretive Sage, however, it can trade into that Hylabon Enforcer and just lose the shield. The Hylabon Enforcer, because it only costs 1, it has this bounty that when you defeat or capture it, you can draw a card. And with it being a 1-drop, Jeff would have loved to have a second 1-drop. But anyway, I trade into the Hylabon Enforcer, generating the Force and being able to draw a card off of here. Jeff plays 3 for the Interceptor Ace, another grit unit. I believe that's a 2/3 with grit. And Jeff readies it. Now here's the thing about when it gets too low on health, can be easy to defeat. So here I play Force Throw, going to force Jeff to discard a card. He discards the Fallen Lightsaber, and we deal 3. Now we could have used Mother Talzin's ability there, but forcing Jeff to discard a card seemed like a good option, especially since he started on the Colossus base, where he starts with 35 health at the expense of only having 5 cards in the starting hand, as opposed to the regular 6. So having a discard strategy against these Colossus decks, especially if they don't have a way to draw for more cards, is a good way to push for an advantage. So Jeff has the initiative here, has 4 resources open. He's going to go ahead and tap 3 for another Interceptor Ace. So that is a pilot, so if he had a space unit, that would have been a nice include on there. So in hand we see a Force Lightning, a Fallen Lightsaber, we're going to see 3 3 drop here for the Fallen Lightsaber on the Secretive Sage. So the Fallen Lightsaber giving +3 power and 3 defense, and when attached to a Force unit, it grants the on-attack ability of dealing 1 damage to enemy ground units. So Jeff goes ahead and readies this unit here. So this gives the ability that now when Secretive Sage attacks base, deals 1 damage to enemy units, taking out the Interceptor Ace. So having that card or that upgrade attached basically shuts down some of these early plays from the Grand Inquisitor decks. Jeff claims the initiative, and Karis goes in for another 2 damage to base. 7 damage on Colossus, 3 damage on the red base. We're going into 5 resources, so this is the turn Talzin can deploy. The Grand Inquisitor is a 3/6 and deploys at 6. Its unit ability is on attack. You can deal 1 damage to a friendly unit, and if it has 3 or less power, you can ready it. And so now we see the Thrall of the Coven is a 3/7, but with Raid 3. So great unit, great new unit coming from the Legends of the Force set for Grand Inquisitor. I mean, you can ready it, and then it hits for 6. But here comes Chirrut Imwe, another new unit here, and it is a 3/5 with Sentinel, and it has the ability that when it is attacked, you may use the Force and reduce the attacker's power by 2. So a great way to shut down Jeff's ground here. And we see a Force throw to give, and Jeff has to discard the Clan Challengers, a 5-cost unit. We use Mother Talzin's ability to use the Force and give -1/-1, and then the on attack from the Secretive Sage with the Fallen Lightsaber, giving another damage, taking out the Thrall of the Coven. So you see Secretive Sage, Karis, attack base, and now Mother Talzin deploys an attack. Jeff is now on 17 damage on base. He's going into his flip turn for the Grand Inquisitor, but with no units out there, this can be very tough to claw back in. I have 4 units on board and that Chirrut Imwe locking things down on the ground arena. Looks like 4 resources, and fell the dragon to take out the Secretive Sage, as that would have killed the Grand Inquisitor had it deployed with its 5 power and then the on attack ability. Chirrut goes into base for 3, Colossus at 20. 6 resources up for myself. Mother Talzin goes 3 into base, giving -1/-1 to the Grand Inquisitor on attack, using its on attack ability. So in the hand we see a Night Sister Warrior. Jeff having no hand there. Looks like he claims there. Karis going in for 2. And then Force Lightning, paying 1 and now spending another 3 resources to take out Grand Inquisitor. And now we see the Night Sister Warrior come down. 10 damage away from closing out this game. It's a nice thing about Colossus is that its total health is 35, so it gives some breathing room. So Jeff going up to 7 resources, but he is basically in top deck mode, seeing the power of the Force Throw card against these Colossus decks. And we see another Thrall of the Coven here. So Chirrut going to go into base for 3. Bring Jeff up to 28 damage on base, just 7 away. Jeff goes ahead and readies the Thrall of the Coven. So hitting base for 3 with Mother Talzin. Thrall of the Coven's going to go attack into Chirrut. Use the Force to make it only hit for 4. Actually for 3, because there's already that -1/-1. And Jeff here being a nice guy and reminding me of that I use the Talzin ability on the throw. Always good to see great sportsmanship there. So 2 into base from the Night Sister Warrior. Looks like Jeff is going to have to claim here. He has nothing, and then Karis comes in for 2. So I take the game 1. So Jeff is probably going to want to either have more units on the to get some more units on the board, or bring in some things from the sideboard to have a strong late game. So in those colors, maybe some Ruthless Raiders, maybe some more removal. Another cool card is that Devastating Gunship that defeats a unit that costs that has 2 or less health, but it has grit and 3 power, meaning that you can play it and then Grand Inquisitor can ready it. The thing is that once it has damage on it, it has over 3, so you can only do that readying ability once. So Jeff mulliganing after that first draw. That's pretty common with these Colossus decks, only being able to draw 5 cards off the start. Sometimes you just don't get what you need in that first draw. So something like a double Hylabon Enforcer could be good. Maybe going into the space. These Talzin decks don't tend to run a lot of early space, so if you can get off a Inferno 4, or maybe even an Onyx Squadron Brute, because you can ready it once with the Grand Inquisitor ability. And the nice thing is that if someone goes out of their way to kill it, you're healing damage off of your base. So, all right, we see Jeff tapping for 1. He has that Hyperfoil Hylabon Enforcer. Looks really cool. Brings down a second Enforcer, so a nice aggressive start. He goes ahead and readies the Hylabon, go 3 into base. So I take the initiative here. My idea is that I want to try to trade off for the Hylabon, so Kylo can attack and kill one and generate the force here. Jeff, considering what he wants to put down as a resource. So Kylo Ren going 2 into the Hylabon Enforcer. Hylabon Enforcer had 3, so it kills Kylo, but I collect the bounty off of that, getting that card advantage. And here comes Marin. That is a 2/5 with the on-attack ability. You can discard a card to deal 2 damage to an enemy unit. And the Hylabon Enforcer goes in for 3. So Hylabon has 2 health left. So with that extra card that I got off of the other one, I am in a comfortable spot to attack base and deal 2 damage off the Marin ability by discarding a card. And by killing the second Hylabon, I draw another card. But here we just see Talzin's Assassin come down using the Force, giving -3/-3 to the Enforcer, taking it out that way. Now we see that Interceptor Ace. And with it having 3 health, we can attack with Marin, discard a card, use the Force, and take it out. And we're going to discard a Night Sister Warrior, dealing 2 damage to the Ace, and generating the Force on attack. 2 damage on Colossus, 7 on the red base. And now I use the Talzin ability to use the Force and give the Interceptor Ace -1/-1, clearing it off. Going into the 5 resource turn. So again, this is the flip turn for Talzin. And I have a Talzin's Assassin, which is a 4/4, and Marin, which is 2/5 with that on attack ability. You see Jeff considering to tap all 5 resources. And here comes the seventh sister. It is a 3/6 with Saboteur. And when it deals damage to a base, you can deal 3 damage to a ground unit. So this can get pretty scary as it can ignore sentinels. So Chirrut Imwe would not be good here since it can ignore it. We might see Jeff deal 2 to ready the seventh sister. However, Marin can clear it out with a direct attack on the seventh sister and discarding a card. If it has the 2 damage from the Grand Inquisitor. So Jeff considering if he wants to bait that out. 6 damage on Colossus, 7 on the red base. He goes ahead and claims, and Marin is going to do 2 into base and 2 onto seventh sister. And actually, it looks like Jeff may have passed earlier and not claimed. So he readies that. And here we see Old Daka. This is a new card. When played, you may defeat a friendly knight unit not named Old Daka. And so we're going to defeat the Talzin's assassin. And when you do that, you can replay it for free. So triggering that when played ability off Talzin's assassin to take out the seventh sister. And now Talzin comes in for another 3 damage, bring Colossus up to 11. So that Old Daka, a great card to trigger these knight units that have a powerful when played, like the Talzin's assassin. But we also see some powerful when defeated abilities like the Night Sister Warrior that can draw a card, or Karis who can use the Force to give a unit -2/-2. So a nice way to clear some units out. So you see the Grand Inquisitor come out. The unit does have hidden, so it can't be attacked. Old Daka goes into base for 6. And the Grand Inquisitor unit grants hidden to all other Inquisitor units. So the Grand Inquisitor unit out here does have hidden. Sorry, the leader has hidden right now. So it cannot be attacked. So Talzin, Mother Talzin goes 3 into base and gives -1/-1 to the Grand Inquisitor leader unit. And the Grand Inquisitor goes 3 into base and deals 1 to the other Grand Inquisitor to ready it. So having 3 damage on it. Oh, looks like there was a fix there. So, okay, so Jeff takes that previous move back, or he wasn't fully decided. He, instead of attacking, puts Fallen Lightsaber. But now Force Lightning comes down, tapping 1 for Force Lightning and another 4. Sorry, another 5 to. Well, no, so he was at 5, 8. So, yeah, another 4 to deal 8 damage on there because there's the -1/-1 from Talzin. Take that out. And then Marin goes in for another 2 damage to base. So Jeff at 26 damage on Colossus, 7 on the red base. Grand Inquisitor on the board. Both players at 7 resources. Jeff has the initiative here, trying to figure out a way to clear this board and push some damage. See a devastating gunship in there, but nothing with 2 or less health, so it can't clear anything right away. He's at 9 damage away from the end of this game. So Grand Inquisitor does 4 damage into Old Daka. Grand Inquisitor defeated. Old Daka swinging 6 into base. And Jeff playing the devastating gunship, taking out Old Daka. But here I swing in with the Talzin's Assassin, dealing lethal damage and taking the match to 0 and securing my ticket into the top cut. Thanks for watching, and hope you watch the next one. Thanks.